You always have rejections especially working in media and creative, particularly at the top. It's very white, very middle class, and they tend to get talent from their social circles. You're not always going to get the job you want or the project you want and things. I've been lucky enough for a lot of people to just know my work and my talent, and then kind of approach me directly and say, can I work on a particular project and things. But then there's times when I've approached people or brands and things and had a no as well.
Hi, welcome to Blacticulate, a podcast series featuring UK young black professionals, where we find out how they do what they do, so you can too. Or not. After all, it is your life. So hey guys, welcome to another episode of Blacticulate.
Hey.
If you guys have never heard of Blacticulate before, I don't know where you've been. No? You're smiling at me, Annika. Why? You don't like this intro?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the intro. I did to see when I'm supposed to join in.
You join in.
Yeah.
You better join in whenever you want. No, I don't literally have a proper intro. But I mean, for those of you who've never come to Blacticulate before, it's really simple. We feature young UK black professionals. We try and find out exactly how they do what they do, so you can too. The voice that you did hear is Annika Allen. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, that's right. Annika Allen.
Annika, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I do my research on people usually, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just for the sake of conversation and brevity, I always just throw it back to my guests and say, hey, let the boss, which is the audience, let them know who you are and let's just chop it up from there.
Cool.
So who are you?
Who am I? So I'm Annika Allen. I'm a creative and media professional. I've been working in the industry for over 15 years on events, on digital marketing, on communications for various brands. Entrepreneur as well. I had a magazine. Used to co-own a magazine called Flavor Mag.
Flavor Mag.
Yes. And,
how did that do? When you say used to, how comes we don't have that now? What's happening?
It's still, the website's still there. My old business partner looks after the website now. I guess I did it for 8 years and just transitioned into something new.
Okay.
It kind of.
Awesome. Sorry, I did interject. I was like,
That's
Flavor,
okay.
where's that at? Okay. But you were telling us about your digital marketing events, professional experience.
Yeah, and so I'm also I'm a co-owner of the Colour Network, which is a black entertainment platform that I co-own with Kojo, the comedian.
Right.
And so, go into the website, go into our social media, and you will see the ultimate of black excellence with all the content we put out there. So the idea behind the Colour Network eventually will be kind of Netflix meets BET.
Netflix meets BT.
So basically the black Netflix.
Amazing. Do you guys produce?
That's the aim. So
Okay.
that's the aim for us to be creating more of our own content, but also acquiring black content from around the diaspora that we house on our platform.
How long has that been going on for?
So the Colour Network is 1.5 years old, so it's still very early days for us. We're still building, but we had an exciting kind of first year, and we also did an award ceremony called the Black Magic Awards, which was an award ceremony honouring women that have paved the way for black entertainment, music, sports, fashion, media, business, etc., and things that was held at Hackney Empire.
Annika,
So
you ain't slowing down, are you?
No. My time is very busy.
And we're grateful for it. We really are. But geez, is there nothing that you don't do? I mean, for reals.
I hate maths.
Okay.
I like money though.
That's hot take right there. I hate maths, but I like money. Okay, so here's something I actually read, which was interesting. You write on your website, your personal one, which is www.annikaallen.com.
Yeah, I do need to update that. I'm working on it. Just haven't had the time. But
Okay, so you know what? Well, I found it. I always find these sort of bylines really interesting, where you said you're a social entrepreneur dedicated to educating and inspiring the next generation of young talents.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Okay.
Look at that. Wow, you went serious. Are you ready for this?
So I guess it's kind of through the projects that I take on. With Flavor Mag, there's so much talent that kind of worked with me on the production of the magazine, whether it's interns or people that worked with us that I mentored and trained, kind of that wanted to work in the creative industries, and maybe they were having kind of blocks getting their foot in the door in order for them to be able to kind of fulfill what they wanted to achieve. So there's lots of people that have gone out there and are working on amazing things, and will come back to me and say, "Oh, Nika, I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have gotten here if it wasn't for you. If you didn't give me the initial opportunity."
Right.
And then also I've worked on projects with a lot of young people. So
can you walk me through that, if that's okay? you had Flavour magazine.
Yeah.
This was a concept
Yeah.
that you had with a co-founder at the time, right?
Co-owner, yeah.
Co-owner, apologies. So you have this magazine, it's print based at the time, right?
Print and online, but yeah.
Print and online. And all of a sudden you're like, I need, or you guys were like, well, we need help. We need content, we need contributors and what. So how were you sourcing that, and how are you, I guess, bringing these young talents into the fold?
So someone would just find us, or they'd read the publication and look at the email address in the.
Where was it being printed?
So it's printed and distributed around the UK to universities and colleges and some kind of shops and things.
Okay.
Like that.
So you had to pitch to universities and say, hey, would you stock our magazines?
Yeah, but that wasn't hard because it was a free publication. So we made the publication was free, and so we made our money through advertising and through holding experiential events. So for them to stock it and knowing that actually it was something that their young people and these institutions would engage with, it was an easy sell for them. Yeah. And we'd also go out in like some of the media packs that would be sent around and things like Don't Panic and things and stuff. So,
but in order for you to sustain that and run it, you had advertisers and sponsors.
Yeah.
So you would go to them and just saying, hey, this is our concept of our magazine and this is who our audience is. Do you ever have to mention the reach?
Of course. You have to. So we created a marketing pack where you say, this is who, what the magazine's about. This is the audience profile. This is the reach of the magazine. This is where the magazine is distributed. This is the kind of content. And you just break that all down. And then also, you'd have what's called a rate card in there, and the rate card would say how much it costs for certain spaces. So if you wanted to be a full page or a double pager in the magazine, if maybe you wanted an advertorial, which is like a written interview with pictures, but it kind of looks like it's kind of part of the magazine. If you wanted, as the website developed, if you wanted like banner space on the website, so all these costs would be in the magazine. Yeah, exactly, on the rate card.
Amazing. Sorry, you weren't expecting to talk about Flavour, were you?
It's okay. It's okay. It's part of my journey.
This is part of your journey. So let's talk about this journey. Look at the segue. Tell me about growing up.
Growing up. So I'm originally from Birmingham.
Okay.
So I grew up in the Midlands.
But your accent isn't strong.
Where I grew up in Birmingham was actually nearer to Dudley than it was to Birmingham, in an area called Albury.
Shout out if anyone's listening from there. You might just have a core fan demographic. Yeah.
Maybe. And so actually a lot of people that I went to school with, did have black country accents. So it was Abinya, you called it that, mate, and all that and stuff. And so I always laugh because if you understood where I grew up, then you would know that actually it's not as strong as it could be.
So tell me, you're telling me about growing up.
So Midlands with my parents, twins. I've got a twin sister, 5 brothers.
Wow. Hold tight. So parents?
My twin sister and I and my mum and dad were married, and my brothers were all their mum's different to my mum.
Gotcha. Yeah. So same dad.
Yeah, same dad, but all very close family. So even till now on both sides, I'm lucky I end up being in Birmingham at least once a month because there's always some family party, whether it's a wedding, christening, whatever.
Celebrate whenever we can.
Exactly. But I think I always knew that I wanted to do something within the creative industries. Like when I was 8, I remember signing up to be a press packer on BBC's Newsround.
What's that? A press packer?
They used to have so if you wanted to be like a young journalist kind of thing, you could sign up to be a press packer and write articles kind of for them and things and get involved. Yeah, so I wrote off to be a press packer. And I remember saying to my mum, I'm going to be a presenter and I'm going to go to like war zones and be like reporting from there and be like, hi, I'm Annika Allen and I don't know, Iraq's under siege. And I know it was like really random, but then I didn't actually realize that actually I could be hurt and blown up in that situation.
Yeah, big time.
So that kind of changed.
But that's so interesting because at the age of 8, who were you seeing? I mean,
no one. So I had to. I guess that's the difference with me. I had to know I could be it before I could even see it because there's nobody around me that ever did anything creative. My dad was a mechanic. My mum worked for the local council.
Right.
So, they weren't doing anything remotely creative. So it's not like anybody was there for me to look up to say, oh, you could be a, presenter or a writer, whatever. I think it was just more that my mum was never the kind of mum to put any limiting beliefs on me. If I just said I wanted to do something, she'd be like, okay. go ahead and
Amazing.
things. And so that's why I kind of just had the freedom to just be myself and
To
explore
yeah.
what I wanted to do and things. So when I was like 14 and I discovered another writing opportunity in Birmingham, there's like a club called Smoke Free Birmingham, and so they had a magazine called Smoke Free Birmingham. So it was funded by the NHS, but they had a magazine to engage young people to try and encourage them not to smoke.
Right.
So they'd have like your kind of celebrity interviews or features in there, but then they'd also kind of have like a page where they'd be talking about kind of not smoking and things.
Right, just
and so literally it was nowhere near me, and I had to catch 3 buses to get there, kind of to go and write.
You're committed.
Kind of exactly, and this is obviously, the internet kind of wasn't there when I was like 13, 14.
She's saying her age now, but not saying her age.
Yeah, but it's not. Well, to be fair, the internet really it was late 90s that people had access to the internet and things. So I'm not actually old. It's just that the internet just hasn't been there very long.
I'm not saying you're old at all.
I'm early 30s for those wondering.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, she went, actually, to be fair, I was like, oh, whoops. Taboo, you're about to cut this. Yeah.
So I was just saying that I was always kind of just very fearless and just did kind of what I wanted to do. So like at school when I was 16, and so I wanted a leavers party, and the school said they couldn't afford to do a leavers party, and so I was like, listen, we need a leavers party. So I said, can I have the school hall? Can I put on a talent show and raise money so we can do a school party? And so they were like, okay. And so I did that, raised £400.
Jeez.
They wanted me to hold it at the school, and I said I don't want to hold it at the school. So I went to local community centre and I said, oh, can I have the party here? And they were like, oh, what age is leaving? And so I said, oh, we're all 18. We're all 18. But annoyingly, I know, but annoyingly they went and called up the school. And so then I got called into the head teacher's office and told off for telling them that I was going to be 18. And they refused to give me the money that I had made.
£400?
Yeah. I was so angry. I was like, well, what are you going to do with the money? That's my money.
Yeah.
I would raise this money for my year so we could have a party. And so that totally peed me off. But I was determined to still have a leavers party. So then I found a local pub that was far enough away from the school that they didn't recognise me, but near enough for people to still get to. And then I just charged people to, I said, obviously to pay for things. I said, you've all got to pay like £5 to come in. And I got my brothers and my uncle to come down and bring their DJ and stuff. And they were like, could be like the responsible adults there to watch over everything. Because actually at the end, there was some people from some other school came down and then tried to, towards the end of the night, tried to come mash up the party and try and have a fight, and my uncle had to take out baseball bats and like threaten them.
That sounds lit,
so it was good he was there.
That sounds crazy, but in a good way. Oh, so you've always been experiential, you've always wanted to put on events, you've always wanted to bring people together.
Yeah, I think it's always been just come naturally to me, and I didn't even realise it. Even as an entrepreneur, I remember at primary school, there was this like business enterprise competition. We were the first primary school to ever decide to enter into the competition because it was all secondary schools. And so then in the classroom, I remember this day really clearly. I remember everybody, them saying, everybody get into groups. And as a class, you all come up with your group ideas. Then you're going to present it to the teachers. And then we'll choose the best idea to go forward with. And you can pilot it within the school. And then you have to present it at the main competition. Yeah. So I remember saying to everybody, whoever comes in my group, because I'm leading a group, I said, if you come in my group, I'm just saying we're going to the final competition. So, and stuff and things. Yeah. And then it was always annoying because they would never let my twin sister and I always be in kind of like groups together and those kind of things and stuff. But I was like, just straight, I'm winning. Yeah. Kind of thing and stuff. And my idea was like badge making and putting slogans on badges. And so we presented our idea, and then our idea was chosen as the best idea. And then presenting that at a business enterprise event where like the mayor of kind of Dudley came and round and other business professionals in the area, and then they decided the winner. And so then on the day, and they were like, oh, and the winner is, drum roll, who do you think it was? Hello.
Was it you?
Yes.
Okay.
Just saying.
As we said off the record, I was asking, like, you do all of these, you have all these hats, you're clearly killing it. I mean, like, if you were to hand someone a business card in order to hire you, what would that be specifically?
Ultimately, it all falls under project management. I will facilitate, start a project, build it into a brand, build it into something what it is, and then release it onto the world. So I'd say they all come under that, but under kind of creativity.
Right.
So if an organization or a brand needs someone to realize their kind of vision of a particular creative project, then I can execute that vision, or I can come up with the ideas that will help them in order for them to reach their goal.
Do you prefer strategizing, so consultancy for lack of a better word, or do you prefer executing?
I prefer both, but I prefer doing it without the pressure of having to justify the kind of return on investment. Obviously, half the things I do have to, because that's just the
nature of the beast.
The nature of the beast.
I mean, I spend a lot of money.
But I prefer it when brands come to me and say, "I've got this pot of money, and this is what I need to do. Just make it happen," kind of thing. Without say like if you're doing an event and you have to promote it and get people to kind of come there and pay, kind of thing. I prefer if I've already had the right sponsorship and the right partnerships in place, so that actually the profit's already been made from having those right partnerships there,
right.
And so anything in addition is just a bonus.
Right. Okay. Walk me through a brand that will come to you, and
it depends on the project.
Do you not have any specific niche that you're an expert within? I can almost see there's an underlining of people in the ethnic minority or the BAME community.
I don't necessarily, so for say like Colour Network and Black Magic projects, yes, it's definitely brands that want to target a diverse audience, particularly engage with ethnic minorities. But I've done events where it's female focused, so brands that want to kind of target women. I've done youth projects and things. It's brands that want to target young people.
Yeah, how are you finding these people who
you have to research? You have to do your research. Like anything, they're not going to just drop out the sky. So you have to, and also it's about thinking about what the brand's values are and if they align with what you're trying to achieve in your values. So not just thinking you can just approach any and every brand. It's about kind of creating those right connections.
Have you ever had rejections?
You always have rejections especially working in media and creative. It's particularly at the top, it's very white, very middle class, and they tend to get talent from their social circles. You're not always going to get the job you want or the project you want and things. I've been lucky enough for a lot of people to just know my work and my talent, and then kind of approach me directly and say, can I work on a particular project and things. But then there's times when I've approached people or brands and things and had a no as well. But I don't see a no as a negative. I just see it as, okay, it wasn't right for you, but move on to the next thing.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? I'm just looking at it from my boss's perspective, which is the audience. Is I've got Annika on, right? And Annika is a social entrepreneur. She's pretty much killing it in the game. A lot of what she does is predominantly in the media landscape. What can I learn from her? What are the best pieces of advice, I guess, you've been given? What best piece of advice can you give people who are looking to start a journey similar?
I guess what I would say is what I've learned. And for some reason, from the beginning, I always knew that networking would be key for what I wanted to do and having the right contacts, especially because I moved from Birmingham to London and needed to know who the playmakers or the game changers were within the industry in order to get ahead. So your network is your net worth. So networking is key. Get out there to lots of events, see what's happening. There's, go on, sites like Eventbrite, and you'll see lots of free events for people within the creative industry. If you have no money, if you've got money, then pay for some of the bigger events that people are going to and things. And if you're in TV, sign up for like Royal Television Society membership. They have regular events and things for you to connect with TV professionals. Royal Television Society. RTS. Research is big for me. Like I always think we're in the day and age where everything is at our fingertips, but people still act like they don't know anything or can't find anything. Actually, everything you can find is on the internet. Yeah, 100%. And so utilize the tools that you have now. You don't have to go to a library or be looking through yellow pages or calling up a million people to get that information, sending a letter in the post kind of thing and stuff, the some of the old school things that people had to do. Exactly, way back when people had to do those things. Now you can go on Twitter and or Instagram and DM someone to get in touch or get their details or find them on LinkedIn. And so it's not that hard to connect with people, and it's about nurturing relationships as well. It's not, it's not just about asking people for things or for favors and also expecting it. It's like, how can you help each other? And if you can't help each other, it's still about nurturing that relationship. So, if you want to meet somebody, don't be afraid just to ask them, it's okay to meet up for a coffee, to have a chat, to pull your ear. All somebody can say is no if they haven't got the time. And if they have got the time, then it'll be a yes. And it's like, oh, fantastic. So again, I think be fearless and just ask, just do it. Because life's too short not to. Let your work speak as well. So, always be kind of professional in what you do. People will talk about you and your work and your talent and things. But also, it's not necessarily just about the talent, because you can have a lot of talent, but actually, if you're not persistent, that's it. I've got, there's lots of people I see and they're, oh, nothing's happening, or I can't get ahead here, or whatever. But actually, how hard are you actually really working? How persistent are you? Because actually, persistence will always beat talent. There's lots of talented actors out there, but actually they're not persistent with it. There's lots of talented writers out there, but they're not persistent with it. There's lots of people that you see have, come up in the game where, when Michaela Cole wrote Chewing Gum, that was back in like mid-noughties that she first did that as a play, and only now we're seeing the kind of fruits of her labour. Presenting talent like Ramel London, she's been at it for ages, and now she's got the Young Capital. These things take time. When people see people achieving success was never overnight. So how persistent are you with the work you're putting into what you want to be successful at?
Can you be persistent at something that you clearly don't have a talent for?
Yeah, you can. That's what I'm saying. Persistent always beats talent. So if you haven't,
okay, so you'll become talented if you're persistent.
Not necessarily become talented, but you'll become known for that because you've been persistent and consistent, and so then you can learn. So obviously, if you're a singer, you can't. Not everybody can be Beyonce, but you could be. You could be somebody else. You could not even Michelle, because Michelle can sing. She's just not got the personality. And actually, she's
sorry,
not.
Michelle, if you listened to this, that was bad by me.
It is exactly. I'm talking more like who am I talking more like? I'm not going to diss anyone. Yeah. Just saying, like,
I was ready for it. I was going to say, hot take. Let's go. Annika said this person's an average singer. You'll just get flamed.
Exactly. Although there are very many average singers out there. Well, actually, so I love Rihanna. Rihanna is not the best singer in the world. Yeah. So, and I'm sure I think she'll admit that, and everybody else will admit that. But she was persistent. She's good at dancing. She's got a great personality, and she was persistent with what she wanted to do, kind of thing. So so I guess that's an example as to kind of like, whereas persistence will always beat talent.
That's perfect. You've done a lot, and it's still really difficult, especially within the time frame we have. So we might have to get you back again, Annika. And bosses, you guys out there listening, do tell me and say, Blacticulate, you're slipping. Why aren't you asking Annika about this, that? And then hopefully we'll see whether or not we can get you back and we'll answer those questions. Let's move on from Flavour magazine to the other ventures and the other brands that you're building and killing it out there. So the floor's yours. Where do we want to
go? I guess, the main things I'm concentrating on now is the Colour Network, as I said, which is the Black entertainment platform. So building that, and also the Black Magic Awards. And so last year we held the first Black Magic Awards at Hackney Empire, which we had kind of full house with, celebrities, influencers, etc. It came about because for the last couple of years, I used to do an event called Power Players, which was aimed at women in music, media and tech. But then once Kodra and I kind of connected and started the Colour Network, I still wanted to do an event for women, but then it just made sense doing an event for Black women. And I'd always admired Black girls rock in America.
Right.
And I really get fed up of people in the UK saying we have no role models, there's not people here we can look up to. And I think, oh my God, there's so many amazing women in general, but particularly Black women that are killing it, despite all the obstacles kind of put in their way to get ahead. They're the trailblazers, and we wanted a platform and a space to kind of highlight that and thank them and celebrate them for paving the way. And so that's why we came up with doing the Black Magic Awards.
Amazing. So tell us the steps.
Yeah, so again, it was, I guess, Kodra and I utilising our little black books. And
it's not the right word. You guys have a big black book. So
coming up with the kind of women that we felt we wanted to honour. So we had the likes of ITV News presenter Charlene White, presenter Jasmine Dotiwala, rapper Eve, Jenny Francis.
And these are some names that even I don't know. So I'm very grateful for having platforms like that to just, again, show and highlight.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, these are all women that have paved the way within their various and respective industries.
Was any kickback? Was there like, what is this award? Why do I need this?
No. Actually, they were all surprised to be asked. They all were excited for the event because there's not been anything like this in the UK, kind of aimed at black women.
Walk me through this a little bit, if that's okay. And I know I interjected you because I'm sure you're going to land. But what happens is, do you get the people first and go to a venue and go, hey,
got the venue first because we needed to secure a date because, again, people's diaries are busy, so they need to know the date and check their availability to see if they're even available on that date to attend.
Right.
Yeah. So
venue first.
Lock
the date. Then the people next.
Yeah. Contacted the talent and decided who we wanted to perform as well, and reached out to acts that we wanted to perform there.
And I assume you're paying these guys, or is this all voluntary?
It depends on who the talent was. If you're up and coming talent, then you might cover your expenses so you're not out of pocket. And then, like, if you're performing and things, then depends what you work out with them, because there might be other reasons why they're doing it. So if an artist is on a promo run, so like when a talent's like releasing a record and stuff, if they're promoting that, then the label will cover their fees and you don't have to. So it's always about thinking how you can kind of get around these things, because ultimately you have a budget and you want to try and not exceed that budget in terms of what you're trying to spend or what you're trying to save.
Right. So we've got the venue, we've got the peoples, we've got the talent performance.
Getting the guest presenters, getting team on board to kind of help with everything and stuff.
I mean, this is not small, that's for sure.
No. So obviously you had Hackney Empire, which is I think it's a 1,100 capacity venue.
Wow.
And then on our team, so we worked with an agency called Vamp to help us kind of connect with some celebrity guests that were coming and help kind of get media coverage and social influencers there.
Right, okay.
And co-runner concentrated on guests that we had personal contacts with, as well as the honorees, filming and kind of marketing the event, as well as the general organisation on the day.
Right.
How we wanted the atmosphere to be, what the order of everything will be on the stage, because we wanted it all to flow and it all to work and things, and it did. Things might have been a bit mayhem on the back end, like you're running around, things aren't ready on time, right? And things, but Coach and I were like, that's fine as long as that's not reflected on what's happening on the stage, that the people there don't realise that they're kind of just like, okay, cool, this is what's happening. And so and that's what happened. Like, it all was all very professionally done, looked great, everything ran to time. We even had like Stormzy come down a couple of days after he'd won GQ Man of the Year and come in, present the award to Jenny Francis. Amazing. And so that was amazing, because like the crowd were not expecting that kind of thing. I mean, we'd had lots of amazing guest presenters from the likes of actor Chucky Venn, Monroe Bergdorf, to loads of different people that were in the comedian Judy Love.
Guys, I hope you appreciate all these names. So Rolodex is going to be on point.
So I guess the main thing was it was just such an inspirational event. Like, everybody left there feeling very uplifted, very inspired, and because the honorees all knew in advance, they'd all written speeches that were reflective of the theme of the night. And I remember Angela Griffith talking about walking on the shoulder of giants, and that her shoulders are there for anybody to walk on. So just people get in touch if they want to get in acting and just need any advice, need any help, kind of thing. She's like, even though she's been in a wealth of TV programs and films, she's not the person that's ever put up for mainstream awards and things. So it just shows why these events are needed. Yeah,
100%. So it sounded like a success.
Yeah.
So it's going to be bigger and better next year?
This year.
2018.
So yeah.
When is the date? And can Joe Public, can they come?
Yeah, so it's open to the public to buy tickets to attend. So just keep it locked to kind of thecolournetwork.com for when we're going to be releasing dates and when we're going to be releasing who the honorees are. But it'll be at the tail end of the year, in either September or November. We're just kind of locking down date at the moment. But
guys, and also I'll put it out in our platforms as well, so we'll help.
And it's been good because to continue the legacy of the show, I also released my own podcast called Black Magic Podcast, where I do conversations with brilliant and resilient British black women, where again it's an opportunity to have conversations and things. And so usually I feature kind of two guests that are kind of in the studio talking, and then like a celebrity kind of interview who kind of gives a bit of information on their life and their journey and things. So yeah, so it's been just a really fun and great experience.
I mean, you are smashing it in the industry without a shadow of a doubt. What's the dream?
I guess the dream is to. I've always admired Oprah. She's been kind of a person I've always looked up to in terms of the success she's achieved. And I feel that there's nobody that comes to my mind anyway in the UK that's kind of doing what she does over here. And so I'd love to kind of to encourage and inspire people. And so it's just about kind of reaching to even higher position of influence, but where it can in order to make a change within society, so that helping kind of women to kind of excel and to not be stunted in their career because of whether it's stopping to have children or because of the gender pay gap or because of any other things, just because they're a woman. Helping young people to realize their potential, because I get so upset when I kind of hear on the news that there's been another stabbing, or there's I don't know, something's happened to a young person in society, and I just think, oh my God, there's so much that you can do with your life that you don't even know. And so I do try and go into kind of like schools and colleges and universities to kind of do talks to young people as well, because I feel that if people like me, I'm normal like you. I came up even though my parents were married, they divorced when I was like 10 or 11 kind of thing. So I was in a single parent household. My mum worked kind of like 3 jobs in order to kind of for us to do what we wanted to do and achieve, to be able to provide and pay for the things that we wanted to do and things. And my mum never complained kind of about that. You were like, oh, we want to go and play netball, oh, we need to go here and things. And there's not once where I'd ever say she kind of complained about doing anything. If we wanted to go on a particular school trip, and it's not like there's just one of us, it was always 2 of us you're having to pay for and things, and she just got on with it and she just did it and just made it and would make it happen.
Honestly, mothers, they're the best.
Yeah, exactly. My mum is seriously superwoman,
and I'm sure she's proud as well.
Definitely. I mean, even though she's in Birmingham, she's the kind of mum that she's very supportive. So say like when I wanted to do a charity bike ride, so I did like the London to Brighton bike ride and stuff. I remember at the start, like my mum called me, was like, oh, good luck with the ride, and she's like, oh, how are you getting back? And I was like, oh, I've got to wait for the last person or our coach to come, and then we get on the coach and that coach brings us back to London. And she's like, oh, that's a bit long, isn't it? So she drove down from Birmingham to Brighton to drive me back to London, so I didn't have to wait on the coach kind of thing, because she thought, oh, I'll be tired. And actually it was a good thing that she did that, because I ended up having a sickle cell crisis after that because I put my body through so much. So it was good that she was there.
Okay, well, we're very grateful to Mummy Allen.
Yes, Mummy Allen's amazing.
She sounds amazing. Okay, so I do want to round up, if that's okay, and I normally ask all my guests some quick fire questions.
Okay.
The answers, ideally make them quick if you can.
Okay. One word,
one word, or
okay.
definitely a small sentence.
All right.
And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to bring you back, because you just dropped a little bar there where I was like, damn, what, you got sickle cell? And then we didn't even touch upon that. We're talking about growing up, but you know what? Round twos. I always do that. I always have to get round twos to see where you are. Okay, you ready?
Yes. Shoot.
So if you could do a TED talk, other than your actual profession, right, what would it be about?
Feeling the fear but doing it anyway.
Right. If you had the last £5, what are you spending it on?
I'm spending it on some kind of a way to invest it to make another £5-10.
Damn, you entrepreneurs, man. I get so many of you on here. You're like, I'm just gonna try and make sure I make it stretch.
Exactly.
Then I get some people just saying, donuts.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll eat with when I make the rest of the money back.
Right. So Blacticulate, Black Action Articulated. What is your favourite English word?
My favourite English word, amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I like. And who's the second person that springs to mind if I say the word successful?
I guess a person that I'm admiring at the moment is Issa Rae and what she's achieved, and so she's someone else that inspires me in terms of what she's done with Insecure and what she did with the awkward black girl, and just how real she is and honest she is as a person. So I would say that she's what success looks like at the moment, and again, just because her success was overnight, but she was persistent with what she wanted to do and what she wanted to achieve and stay true to herself.
Okay. And the penultimate question before I ask you, how can we find you? And when we do find you, what you want us to do is, how would you like to be remembered?
As the woman that inspired, encouraged and motivated others.
Amazing. And knowing you as little as I have, and I'm really grateful for your time, I can't imagine you don't already do that. Inspire, motivate and encourage others. So thank you very much for just being on the platform. But we can't just let you go without you telling us how we can find you. Yeah. And when we do find you on the World Wide Web, what would you like us to do? So
you can find me at Annika Allen on all social networks. So that's ANNIKA Allen with an Allen. And when you do that, like, share, follow, all that good stuff. And hit me up depending on what it is that you want. If you've got kind of marketing, kind of branding, project needs, then get in touch. If you need speakers at events, then holler. And if you've got content for the Colour Network or a brand that want to kind of sponsor or align yourselves with what we're doing, then again, get in touch. And so follow the Colour Network as well.
Amazing. Guys, honestly, if there were things that I've totally overlooked and I should have asked Annika, get at us, man. We're always trying to be better. So once again, thanks for listening, and see you on the other side. Annika, thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been lovely being part of Blacticulate.
Hey guys, we really appreciate you listening, and if you have any feedback whatsoever, please do leave it in the comment section below. Also, you can get all the information on the guests, the links and resources we speak about in the description below. There's plenty more videos in our archives in our video section, so do check that out. And last but not least, and this is really important, if you are somebody who can teach us how you do what it is you do, because Blacticulate is all about empowering and upskilling the community, then please get in touch, because we'd love to feature you too. Guys, you're the best. Hope you have a great day, and see you soon.